Welcome back to our second lesson in this section. I'm going to show you a few of the sites where you can find license-free photos and how to search them. These sites are called Pixabay.com, Pexels.com, and Unsplash.com. I'll also list them out in the course materials. There are two things we want to look for here. The first is license-free. That means that we can change the image, reproduce the image in a different way. Usually they just don't want you to reuse the same photograph exactly as is. The second thing we want to look for is that it is not created with AI. We are not going to use AI in this course, so you want to look for something that says authentic. That's usually what it's called, and it'll tell you that it is definitely AI free. You also want to make sure that we're set to photographs as opposed to illustrations. Now on some of these sites it's easier to do this than others. You'll see I end up using, I believe, just one site for all of our images. Here I'm going through Pixabay. Pixabay makes it pretty easy to do. You know, the content type, which is where we find whether or not it's AI or authentic, and make sure that we have it set to photographs. Sometimes I like to hit that search button again just to make sure that we aren't getting any AI photographs, okay? So I like this picture of this soccer ball or football, depending on what country you're in. I am in America, so we do call it soccer. The lighting is nice and bright, so we can see the majority of the ball and its shapes. So I'm gonna go ahead and download it. And we're just, again, the size doesn't matter. And everybody say thanks to our photographer here who provided this for us. And we'll move on to the next part of the lesson. Sorry, real quick, I wanted to point out to you what license-free means here a little bit more as they define it on their website. As you can see, it says here's the things you can do with it, and here's the things you can't do, spelled out as clearly as possible for you. If you forgot to follow along up to this point, take a screenshot now. In the future, though, I do recommend you follow along so you can do this on your own. So here, I'm just kind of going through and just showing you a bunch of the different tools and stuff. I do really recommend that you take some time and just play with whatever drawing app you have and figure out different things and what they do. Like if there's a tool or something, like what does this do? You know, you can always undo it later, and it's just fun to play, and that's how you learn, is you keep messing around with things, and you might figure out a way to do something that I don't know, you know? It's really important to keep playing when you're making art. I want to point out to you that over here on the right is what we call our layer menu. That is important for us, as you probably saw in the first lesson, and I apologize I didn't talk about it more there. But this is where we're going to have different drawings and stuff, and I'm going to add what's called a vector layer. Again, that's one where we can size it up and down and it doesn't end up looking like an old Super Mario Brothers video game, okay? The rest of this should be pretty familiar to you. We're going to go to File, Import, and find where we downloaded that image of the soccer ball, and we're going to import it into our project here. Again, we can adjust the sides by pulling on the corners. We don't want to pull on that left and right or the top and bottom sides in the middles, because they will stretch out the photo and kind of get it all warped looking. Okay, two things, and they seem advanced, but I promise you that you can definitely get these. The first is we want to know where our ability to lock our layers are. We don't want to draw on our reference image. It's something that can really ruin your day if you draw on your reference image, because you do all this work and then you go, oh, I can't separate it out from the photograph I used. The second thing is we want to mess with the opacity here, and this is kind of, we're making the image see-through. We can make it completely invisible, or we can bring it back. We're just sliding that slider up and down there that says opacity, and this is really a personal preference. It doesn't matter how much opacity you have as long as you're comfortable with it, okay? That's what art is. It's you finding what works for you. So what shapes do we see in this image of the soccer ball? Just like we did with the door in the first lesson, what shapes are we looking at with a soccer ball? Now I'm going to give you a minute to answer, and I don't want you to stress about it. I don't want you to feel like you have to get them all right. You don't. You just need to figure out which ones you see. So the first one that I see is a circle or a sphere. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about things being 3D, but for right now, while we're just drawing this out, we're going to call it a circle, all right? And that wraps kind of around the entire ball shape, right? If we were drawing a ball, we would draw a circle. So let's find our shape tool, and we're going to find one that might be called ellipse, okay? E-L-L-I-P-S-E, ellipse, all right? And that's when we make round objects with this shape tool. You can also sometimes, some of these drawing apps, you can just draw the circle and hold your stylus on the screen for a minute, and it will autocorrect into a circle. Just want you to remember that we can modify this circle too. You're going to see me play around with it here. Okay, I modify the different shapes and points on it just a little bit, and I'm expanding it. And remember, I'm expanding from, I'm going to go and expand from the corners, okay, when it's selected of that square or rectangle that's around the shape, right? We don't want it to get deformed, okay? So we're going to expand it from the corners. Now the way I'm doing this is I'm going to click on something in the menu that's called Object, and click on it, and it's going to bring up what's called a transform feature. Now, I know that's a lot, but you can get it, and sometimes if you just click on the object, a lot of times it's a lot easier in this program. It was a little bit difficult for me to find this, so that's why it's important that we play and we figure out how things work, because as we play, later on we might need an answer and go, oh, I remember doing that. I figured that out back when I was learning how to draw that soccer ball with Mr. D. Now we're just gonna real quick check to see what our shape looks like with that photo layer off, and there we go. We've got a nice circle, all right, that we can use and use that as the base for our soccer ball, okay? Now what other shapes do we see on this ball? All right, take a minute and look. Well, what we see is we have I see right here, we've got the 6-sided shape, okay, in the middle. And I also see a 5-sided shape. So if you've taken geometry, you might be able to say what these are called, okay? But the 6-sided shape is called a hexagon, and the 5-sided shape is called the pentagon, okay? And I'm gonna label those two on the screen with a little arrow pointing to them as well. And you'll just see that that's what these kind of sections of this ball are, is they're hexagons and pentagons, okay? Okay, don't forget to save your work because we're going to end up probably using this later on in a later section, all right?